It now costs the United States government 1.7 cents to make a penny and 8 cents to make a nickel. They're literally losing money on every penny and nickel that they make. Yes, the U.S. Mint cut costs, but pennies and nickels are money losers. In fact, Canada has ceased to produce the penny as their currency. Most Americans have no idea that at one point in time a silver dollar was, well, worth $1. Now today worth around $15. And very interesting changes have been made to the penny and nickel. For example, the penny used to be solid copper. Now it is only 2.5% copper, 97.5% zinc, then plated with copper. In fact, the nickel used to be made of, well, nickel. There's a metal called nickel, and now it's 25% nickel, 75% copper. If you're new to my work, check out the playlist on youtube.com/markdice, where I have fun with a gold coin and silver dollars, where I've tried to sell silver dollars for 99 cents outside of a coin dealer, and tried to sell a 1-ounce gold coin worth well over $1,000 to people for $50, $20, etc., etc. Offer to give it away to them for free if they could guess the approximate value of it. Of course, the United States dollar, the United States currency, will continue to be worth less and less, thanks to the Federal Reserve. Also, thanks to President Nixon, quote, temporarily taking us off the gold standard. Yes, you can find that clip on YouTube where back in the 1970s he says, well, it's as a temporary measure, he's going to take us off the gold standard. Many people may not even know what the gold standard means. At one point in time, you could trade a $100 bill for $100 in gold. The paper currency was basically a receipt for the value of gold. And the only way that the United States government would put more currency into circulation was if there was more gold that was mined. And so then President Nixon took us off of the gold standard, allowing the government to print money with the stroke of a pen, or just insert it into the system now with a few clicks of a keyboard. So allowing the possibility of hyperinflation, which means the rapid inflation of the currency, the hidden tax, because obviously the more money that is created, the less value it has, which is why gold now is worth well over $1,000, when at one point in time just an ounce of gold was about $20 or $30. Of course, thank you, Federal Reserve, and the Jekyll Island meeting. Of course, the secret meeting held on Jekyll Island in 1910 to draft the Federal Reserve Act that was signed into law on the 23rd of December 1913, the eve of Christmas Eve. Yes, just slipped it into the law there while nobody was around. Even, Ron Paul, one of the only few Congress people, politicians who will dare to admit the real history of the Federal Reserve, wrote in his book, End the Fed, that, quote, a secret meeting was convened on the coastal Georgia resort called the Jekyll Island Club, co-owned by J.P. Morgan himself. The press said it was a duck hunting expedition. Those who attended took elaborate steps to preserve their secrecy, but history recorded precisely who was there. John D. Rockefeller's man in the Senate, Nelson Aldrich, Morgan's senior partner, Henry Davidson, German emigre and central banking advocate, Paul Warburg, National City Bank Vice President, Frank Vanderlip, and the Assistant Secretary of the Treasury to President Taft. Yes, Thomas Jefferson even was against such a system. In a 1816 letter, he wrote to his longtime friend John Taylor, thanking him for sending a copy of his book, An Inquiry into the Principles and Policy of the Government of the United States. Jefferson concluded his letter saying, quote, and I sincerely believe with you that banking establishments are more dangerous than standing armies, and the principle of spending money to be paid by posterity, which means future generations, under the name of funding is but swindling the futurity, meaning the future, on a large scale, end quote. Anyway, penny is worth 1.8 cents, and it's not even, it's 2% copper. And a nickel, every time one is created, the United States government is losing money. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new. Check out some of the previous videos, like I said, in my series, The Playlist, on youtube.com/MarkDice about the gold coin craziness. You can check out my book, Inside the Illuminati, Evidence, Objectives, and Methods of Operations, where there's a detailed analysis of the Jekyll Island meeting and the creation of this fiat money-manipulating mafia. Stay tuned. There's more videos coming soon.